Hello, welcome to the Book 1 practice video introduction. I just want to talk about a few things before you get started in Book 1. Maybe we just don't have enough time to talk about this in your lessons, which is kind of a good thing because you'll be playing. Just a few things to remember before you come to your lessons, a group class, recitals. You always want to eat beforehand. You want to go to the bathroom. Always have your nails trimmed. Nails that are too long, it'll be hard to put your fingers down on the strings. And you also want to have clean hands. So if you eat a snack, you want to wash your hands before you come to group or your lesson, or even if you're practicing at home. It's still essential to do your bow exercises in Book 1, and we'll keep expanding upon these. And I challenge you to try to complete your 10,000 bow circles by the end of Book 1. I think that would be a really great goal to have in mind. It's really important to go to group classes. Children that go to group classes excel far beyond, children that don't go to group class. And it's just such an essential part of playing, preparing them for their recitals, learning from each other, and just continuing to grow all in all. Not only that, there are the Suzuki Summer Institutes, and these can be difficult for parents to go to because it's an entire week. But if you can do it, any student that I know that has gone, it is paid off tenfold. And they keep trying to go every single year because it was just so inspiring. You make friends that are doing the same things as you. You see where they're at next year. There are little parties, play-ins where everyone plays together. There are some extraordinary teachers that come and work with your children. You can have art classes, depending on where you go, fiddle classes. It's good for the younger siblings to kind of like see other kids and other instruments that are also playing there. Okay, so in Book 1, let me grab my violin. You will be working a lot in the key of A major. And we'll talk a little bit more later on about what it means to be in the key of A major. But for now, you're going to play a lot on the A and E strings in Book 1. And just like you did in Bunny Ballads, you already learned what's called the A major scale, where you play from A to A. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And that is the A major scale. You should be playing that every day. We'll play it a lot in group classes, and you should also be playing your arpeggios. So these are the skips. So you're going to play A, skip 1, play 2, skip 3, play E, and then skip all the way up to third finger on E. Back down, E, 2, A. That's the first arpeggio. The second one, you're going to play A again, 2 again, but you don't play open E, you play first finger on E, 1, 3, back down to 1, 2, A, and notice I kept my first finger on the string when I played that one. 1. And this is marked in your music with a 1 with a line across, and this is a technique that's very important for students to learn a violin playing, is keeping one finger down when you're going to go back to it, because that's the most efficient way to play. The last arpeggio is A, third finger on A. Alright, so I would practice all three of those arpeggios as much as you can. Learn the first one, they're kind of tricky to memorize, and then add the second one and the third, and then, keep doing that. You want to listen to all the pieces in Book 1 as you're playing them and before you play them, because how do you know how it's supposed to sound unless you've already heard it before, just like a language. We learn to sing it, we learn to hear it before we learn to play it. Then we learn to play it, and then we learn to read the music. So that brings me to your note reading books. So I like to start this when students are kind of, get a good hold on Twinkle Little Star. And you want to work on this a lot at home. We only have a certain amount of time in lessons. If you don't have a lesson after you, I normally go over like 15 minutes and just do like 15 minutes of note reading and try to like get a lot in when I can with students, but I like students to have that book finished by the end of book 1, early book 2, because there is a volume 2 that we will also start in book 2. Okay, let's see what else. Your practice time should be about 10 to 15 minutes a day, and if you get your handbook out, yeesh, I don't know where mine is, but I do have this sheet. So mine looks a little bit different from this, but this is your practice guide for book 1. A lot of parents in the past have made like 50 copies of these, one for each week, and you'll date it, write what bow exercise you're working on or focusing that week. In book 1, I will be a little bit more deliberate as we move in the book at this is your exercise for the week. I want you to practice this one in particular a lot. There are 2 or 3 finger exercises in book 1. We don't really get to it until Allegro and then in the minuets, so that may just look foreign at this point. Your scale, like I said, is a major. You'll have a little bit of your note reading book to do every day, and you'll be wanting to do a review. So you can make a practice spinner, you can make your own Go Fish bag, you can have just, blindly pull a popsicle stick out of the bag. That's one of the easiest ones to do, I think, with the craft sticks. You can get your own dice at the dollar store. They're literally $1. They're a little bit difficult to put together. I will volunteer. I will put it together for you if you want your own book 1 practice dice. So you want to practice all of the twinkles, just at least one a day. And then anytime you learn a new piece, you'll add that. And so this has the whole book 1 spread out. And so the first day, maybe you'd play PP Twinkle, that's Pepperoni Pizza, or Mrs. Twinkle Stop Stop. Then it wants you to play Variation B, Twinkle Pop. Then it wants you to play Caterpillar Caterpillar, or Twinkle Little Baby Brother, Go Tell Aunt Rhody, May Song. Then you'll notice on day 2, you're going to play Variation C, Down Berry, Up Berry, or Zip Twinkle Zap Twinkle. You'll play the Twinkle theme, which is just, it's an octave lower, just regular Grandma Grandpa. Let's see, French folk song, we don't do that one. O Come Little Children, May Song. And so you're just cycling through different pieces every single day. You'll always want to have a polishing piece, especially when we're coming up to a recital. Be thinking what you might want to play, what you want to make really good. Your new piece and a preview spot, so I'll assign different practice spots in book 1. And you'll want to do a little bit of listening every day with the CD. You can listen to the radio, listen to your listening chart in your handbook. That has some really great stuff. You want to go to concerts when you can. And let's see, so a couple of just things about practicing. Practicing will not make you a child prodigy, and it won't necessarily make you the best student. Practicing is just a way to play violin. You should do it, and that's the very minimum, 10 or 15 minutes a day just to get by. Which is a bit shocking. It's really hard just to come into your lesson every week and not have picked up your violin for 6 days and remember how to play O Come Little Children. It's just really important for students to be listening to that piece, practicing it a little bit every day. That's the 4th piece into Suzuki Book 1. And Suzuki said, practice only the days that you eat. So with all of this being said, it feels like, wow, we have so much going on in our life. We have, a million activities. I've heard some students, they're in chess club, tennis, golf, karate, violin, piano. They go to multiple language schools. I mean, that's just one family. So prioritize, do we need to do all these sports? Do we need to do lots of music and extracurriculars? Um, and if it comes down to it, maybe violin, maybe it's not in your timeline right now. But I hope that it is, and I hope to help make practicing easy for you all. And the practice boxes will really help sending practice videos, doing concerts. I try to give out a lot of handouts with practicing, just something new and interesting. But also come to me with questions if practicing gets hard. I'll give you some suggestions, but I don't have any immediate solutions. There's not like a button that I can press that'll just be make practice easy for every family. I wish I could do that. Okay, so like I said before, I'll give you little practice spots for each piece before you get to that piece. Especially towards the end of the book, a lot of students like to just figure out the music on their own. They have their note reading book. They can figure it out, especially after doing bunny ballads, and they end up sometimes learning mistakes because we learn a couple of different finger patterns in book one, and they're hard to hear if you're not doing your listening. So, I'm just here to welcome you to book one. Congratulations on getting through bunny ballads, your hundreds of repetitions. I'm so proud of all the work that you guys do. I'm really impressed, and it inspires me to practice on my own because, yeah, it's just hard to pick up my violin when I might want to go watch a movie or spend time with my husband. So go to group class, try to do some listening, and make practicing fun and make it family time. Alright, I look forward to seeing you in the next video for Twinkle Little Star.